On the 23rd day of VLOGMAKWANZAAKKAH, my true love also gave to me from 0 to 60 with Frozen. So let's get cracking! Hello all my explorers, and welcome back to Loren's Adventures Out There. And if you're new, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. My name is Loren, and I'm with Castles, Capes, and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. We do Pixar and Marvel, Star Wars, The Muppets, Disney of course, 20th Century, Disney Plus, Hulu. If it's about Disney, we are going to be discussing it. So if you like that kind of content, we'd love it if you would subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post, as it really does help us out. So we are continuing our series from 0 to 60, our look at the films of Walt Disney Animation Studios in chronological order. We started off with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and we'll go to the 60th film, Encanto. And today, we are going to be talking about a film that is quite apropos to have a few days before Christmas, and that is 2013's Frozen. Frozen is very loosely based on the classic Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, The Snow Queen. Directed by Chris Buck and now Walt Disney Animation Studios Chief Creative Officer Jennifer Lee, the film tells the story of two sisters, Anna and Elsa, separated at childhood due to Elsa's unique powers to generate ice and snow. During Elsa's coronation day, her powers go out of control. She flees and accidentally plunges the kingdom of Arendelle into eternal winter. It is up to Anna, with the help of Kristoff, an Iceman, his reindeer Sven, and a cute snowman named Olaf, to find Elsa and save the kingdom. The concept for this film actually dates back to 1940. Walt Disney was in talks with Samuel Goldwyn to produce a movie about Hans Christian Andersen. Goldwyn would produce the live-action part, while Disney would produce the animated shorts based on Andersen's famous stories such as The Little Mermaid, Thumbelina, The Ugly Duckling, The Little Match Girl, The Emperor's New Clothes, and The Snow Queen. Disney, though, found The Snow Queen difficult to adapt and cut it. Then World War II broke out, stopping production altogether. Goldwyn, however, revisited the story without Disney in a 1952 all-live-action film starring Danny Kaye. The idea for developing the Snow Queen resurfaced in the 1990s toward the end of the Renaissance. Playwright and actor Harvey Fierstein pitched a concept which was rejected. The studio then tried to adapt it again, but the project was shelved in 2002 when Glenn Keane left the project to work on Tangled. Then in 2006, when Disney purchased Pixar and John Lasseter became Creative Chief Officer, Lasseter convinced Chris Buck to return to Disney. Buck pitched a story called Anna and the Snow Queen, which was not a direct adaptation of the Andersen tale. He wanted to do a story about true love, but not about a kiss from a prince. Something different. The film had planned to be in traditional hand-drawn animation, and at one point, Megan Mullally was cast as Elsa. But still, the studio was having a hard time making it work. Then, in 2011, after the success of Tangled, Disney revisited the project again, this time naming it Frozen. Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez were brought on to write music for the film. The filmmakers still had a hard time trying to adapt the Snow Queen, viewing Elsa as the villain in the story. But they decided to make Anna the sister of Elsa, and everything started to click. In 2012, Jennifer Lee was brought on board. Lee and Buck looked at several Scandinavian sources for inspiration, but none so much as Norway, on which all of Arendel's designs would be based. The Anderson Lopez's became instrumental in the story as well. One of the biggest examples was that the filmmakers knew that the true love of the two sisters would thaw a frozen heart. But the question was how, given Elsa being a villain. But then Let It Go changed everything, and they started to see Elsa as a more vulnerable and sympathetic character. In August of 2012, it was announced that Lee would be promoted to co-director, making her the first woman director in the history of Walt Disney Animation Studios. Mike Giamo was brought on to provide the visual look. Kristen Bell and Idina Menzel were considered in 2012. Before they were officially cast, the two were invited to a table read to see how they sounded together. At the end, the two performed Wind Beneath My Wings as a duet, and it sealed the deal on the casting. Christoph Beck, whose work on Paperman gave him a notoriety at the studio, was brought in to score the film. Box office-wise, the film was a huge success. It earned $1.28 billion globally, overtaking Toy Story 3 to become the highest-grossing animated film of all time. Critically, many critics thought that this was the start of a new renaissance for Disney. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film scored 90% fresh, with critical consensus saying, beautifully animated, smartly written, and stocked with sing-along songs, Frozen adds another noteworthy entry to the Disney canon. Frozen won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, as well as Best Original Song for Let It Go. Due to the success of the film, Frozen would become a franchise. You would soon find Frozen characters and experiences in Disney parks and resorts around the world. Also, a Frozen Broadway show was developed as a musical show at the Hyperion Theater at Disney California Adventure. The characters even made an appearance on ABC's hit show Once Upon a Time. Frozen fever was everywhere. In 2019, a sequel simply entitled Frozen 2 was released, revisiting the beloved characters. So what did I think of Frozen? Well, I really loved it when it first came out. I did. I loved it. Anna is actually one of my favorite princesses. I don't talk about her much, but she is one of my favorite princesses. I love her goofy style. I love Kristen Bell's performance. I just think that she is just such a relatable princess. So I really loved her. And, I love Olaf, Kristoff. I love the characters. I love the music. But when Disney realized that they had a blockbuster hit on their hands, they went nuts getting Frozen in everything. And, at that time I was living near Disneyland, and I was going to the parks, and all I would see is Frozen, 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 Frozen. So it was really hard to see Frozen all the time. I couldn't I couldn't get into it as much. But I still enjoy it, like if I watched it, I would love it, So my feelings really is because of the oversaturation right now, but overall, I think that it's a great film. And again, the music is wonderful, and yeah, I just really love it. So anyway, what did you think of Frozen? Did you see it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I mean, I can't believe that you haven't seen it. Just because it's just such a huge, like, phenomenal blockbuster. But anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments below what you thought of the movie. If you enjoyed this video, we would love it if you would subscribe to our channel if you aren't already. Hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post, as it really does help us out. Visit us on all of our socials down below, and visit our website at www.castlescapesandclones.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you later. Bye!